Had to go live. Had no work today. Um, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for like more drop and more videos, and I'm honestly working on that. It's just when you got a netbook to work on instead of a nice processing computer, you know, it be like that. So I don't know if you guys have been on TikTok. I know you probably seen that debate about the gorillas and not saying the N word going around. We're not talking about none of that. Other people already got that. We're not talking about none of that. You know? You know? It's just crazy to me. Did y'all see what happened with the Pope, man? So, like I've said before, if you want to be a Pope, you have to be a pedophile. And this new Pope is no different. Pope Leo, whatever the hell his name is. So in Chicago, when he was head of like the the church over there in Chicago, he covered up hella pedophilia for the church. And that's why they picked him. Because when you got an organization that's like built around acting godly and then taking advantage of children, right? When you got an organization like that, you can only invite people that are down with that kind of stuff to be the heads of your organization. You put someone like me in there, they're all going to jail. They're going under the jail. Some of them are going to be put to death because they're like freak. There's some weird, freaky ass niggas. They weird ass people. They some freaky ass people. You know? And that's normal. So like, I watched and I seen all y'all go and worship the Pope. So everybody seen that. They was out there worshiping that man. Everyone worshiped that man. He come to America, everybody's like, the Pope is here. And then that's because y'all all low information, like easily manipulated, mindless automatons. You're the same ones that walk around with the prayer beads and all that stuff and claim to be, that's why you're all Catholic. And the Catholic Church is the worst, is the reason for all the racism in the world. You want to get origins of racism? That's the Catholic Church. Simple and plain. They might not teach the history to you because you go there. Why would they teach you that? You go there. You pay tithes to them. That's why you don't hear about that. That's also like with that whole 100 men versus not saying the N-word thing. That's why when you go to the comments under all those videos discussing those things, it's all like racist shit because it's all Spanish people are all Catholics and Catholics are all with the Catholic Church is the Church of Satan. So now you understand. So like Spanish people want to be down with the black people. They want to come down and use the word nigga and be in the vernacular and all that stuff. And I don't even care what they want to do, but then they be black people hating Catholics. And that was the whole church's whole thing. They weren't targeting Mohammedans and all that. Who do you think the Crusades was against? You know what I mean? Like, who do you think they were fighting against? When they were talking about, we got to get Moors, Mohammedans, Jews. And then they're also the ones that put in that started all these racial discrimination policies that infiltrated government and all this other stuff. So just know that's who you side with, guys. You side with the people that molest children and nobody gets caught. You know what's crazy? Donald Trump put in a new law that says, like, if you're a Catholic priest and someone confesses to you to do these things, or a child confesses that this has been done to them, you're required by law to take this to the police, right? You're required by law to take it to the police. The Catholic Church came out and said, if you comply with this law, we're going to excommunicate anyone who does from the church because they're a bunch of freaking pedophile defenders. And that's you guys. Who could disagree with a law like that? The Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. Look, people be coming and going. That's because y'all are child molesters, bro. Yo, that's why y'all all be walking around with that same stupid look in your eyes, because people be child molesters, bro. And they all got the same look in their eyes. Like when you look at them, you could tell. It's like They're like a spiritual vampire inside, and it reflects on the outside. And that's what's going on. So remember, like, everyone's still celebrating and worshiping this new pope, who is like, come on, they didn't come and choose a pope from America. They didn't come and choose a pope from America for no reason, bro. They're trying to like get as close to like, oh yeah, but we know these people from this certain particular area are going to be on the throne, so we're going to try to like imitate that a little bit. You know, he can call himself Leo, trying to claim he's like something related to Judah through the lion, and that's what it is. Because they pick all these names. Like, imagine this, like, back in the day when you got a title like that, it's because other people gave it to you. It's because other people saw that you had courage, you had like, you know, integrity and stuff like that. So you didn't give yourself a name like Leo. Then that title wasn't thrown on you like that. If you got that name, it's because you earned it and other people gave it to you. But these people don't have none of that. They don't have no integrity. So they got to like, yeah, I'm going to call myself like fucking Francis Leo the Third. Like, what is this, cosplay? And that's what we're dealing with in the world. And it's worse than that. It's worse than that. So, if you come to my channel at all, you know that we talk about how America is really the old world, and like all the history is kind of a lie and told in reverse. And like a lot of YT people, because you can't be telling them, because you don't want to get offended, don't even know where they come from, because they're claiming to have heritage that started here, right? And we go over this a lot because it's important for people to understand why the nation's about to be over. And people don't want to understand why the nation's about to be over because they're too financially tied into it. But like I said, this land is not, and everyone on this land except for the Hebrews, and if you don't know who they are, you better figure it out, doesn't belong here. This land is colonized, and it's the most sought after land on the planet. It's no coincidence that America now rules the world. Like, think about it. America's supposed to be one of the youngest nations on the planet. We're not that old. First of all, we have dilapidated cities that look like they came out of the ancient times, and structures in them that look like they came out of ancient times. And then we have the fact that America rules the planet. Why would a nation that's not that old and not connected to any old world civilizations or the old world rule the planet? Think about it. And that's I'll be talking about like the Pope and stuff, because all these people are all keeping that shit secret, and they're keeping a secret about the Hebrews. They're keeping all these secrets, but that shit is falling apart every day. Like, that's why you think like look up the string of natural disasters that's been happening all around the world, America, all around the world. It's the end of that society, bro. It's like a global reset. The planet is about to reset. And they make movies about this. There's a movie, when they do 2012, that's what they're talking about. See, if you had added 12 years to 2012, you came to 2024 and it ended that eclipse pattern. Because in 2017, there was an eclipse. In 2024, there was an eclipse. And that marked the end of that eclipse pattern. And ever since 2017, we've witnessed a uptake in natural disasters. An uptake in natural globally. And people think it's a joke, but no, it's like this, bro. Imagine the planet is a whole living creation. It's a creation that is alive and separate from all the other creations on the creation. This creation also has an immune system, right? And if any one of its cells or, you know, organisms that it gave rise to inside of its biosphere, right, starts to become, I don't know, cancerous, I don't know, destroy the planet for profit, I don't know, kill, rape, and rob and destroy the other organisms on the planet, then this planet is going to send out what? It's going to send out antibodies, right? And it's going to combat that cancer, right? And this is proven in real life. You get cancer every day. You only succumb and like have cancer when your immune system can't fight it off no more. Right now, You know, the people that colonized 80% of the world, and y'all better look up which group colonized 80% of the world, are in shock right now because it's like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? What do you mean I gotta pay for? What do you mean I gotta pay for what my fathers and fathers did? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, you can't live good forever. You can't come here, steal this land, genocide the Native Americans, move in, do whatever you want, racially discriminate against black people who were here before you, and all this other shit for centuries, and just enjoy the luxuriousness of America and the society and all the atrocities it committed. And a lot of it we don't know about because, history's a bitch. Like, we're just finding out about a lot of those massacres now. You can't just do all that and then walk away. That's not how it works. See? And a lot of y'all are those same people. Like, y'all, see, that's why they remove books that talk about reincarnation from the Bible. That's why there's all these removed books, because they don't want you to understand this. Like, no. You go through the things you put people through in this life. And that's the real thing. And past lives, too. That's real. They remove all that. They go, oh, well, Jesus is the way. Bro, first of all, being resurrected, like, because most Christians believe in the resurrection, but they don't believe in reincarnation, which is the same damn thing. See? But they believe the resurrection of their physical body because they're dumb and just haven't realized they're not their physical body. They are a soul having an experience through this physical body. And this is the problem with mainstream Christian America. That shit is dead. It's like all whitewashed, and people are too afraid to tell them that. You go to your church, you tell them, well, maybe I shouldn't be paying you tithing. Actually, churches are receiving the lowest tithing ever. But people are saying that's because people realize the church is a lie. That's not true. People's money is not there. They're not about to go there and give their money to a pastor. Back then in the day, America was in the height of its blessing, really. Even before I was born, America was in the height, and I was born in 1995. America's at the height of its blessing, right? The height of its blessing, long before I was born, there was people that got, like, when you go to talk to old people, they talk about how the prosperity's going and America's dead. And the older you get up, first of all, you'll realize one thing. The older people you talk to, the more likely you are to encounter remnants of that society that was left over, that was built on hate and stuff like that. They like to act like that shit don't exist now, and they don't teach that shit to their kids now. But that's why they don't, because it's guilt. And that's also why you always hear these phrases if you're black. Why you keep bringing up let's not dwell on the past? So, like, that's what I'm saying. You can't genocide people and steal their land and then talk about let's not dwell on the past unless you're the guilty party. You get what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to talk about, oh yeah, let's talk about how y'all stole millions of acres of land. Let's talk about how y'all reclassified indigenous peoples as Negroes and blacks. Let's just talk about how I should work harder to get what I want. Instead of, like, you giving me my shit that you stole. Right? That's why you keep hearing all that stuff. Because this is like, they want you to feel like you were brought here and you should feel happy to be in America and you're more privileged than the rest of the world, when this is your damn ancestral land. You're the second largest racial group in America, which makes you the Native Americans by default. By default, it makes you the Native Americans. You can't be the second largest racial group. Somebody got in my comments in the past live and said, Spanish people are the second largest racial group in America. I'm like, Spanish is not a racial group, it's an ethnicity. You can have white Spanish people, you can have black Spanish people. And that's why when you let Spanish people say the N-word because they're Spanish, that's dumb as hell. Don't let them say that. Hell no. Bro, a lot of them are white. Spain started all chattel slavery in Haiti. All those Spanish people from Spain went to Haiti and started all that and took over all the Americas with that chattel slavery. There was never a form of slavery like that before invented. So, like, don't let them tell you, like, everybody lost 2 continents. Hey, we're all going through this. No, we're not. Right now, you're feeling it, so you're starting to go through it. Bitch, we have been felt it. Like, we're like numb to that shit. You're feeling it. That's why you feel like that. That's why you feel like everything's falling apart, because it is. I gotta let people pass sometimes. I'm just letting people from the lobby pass. And when you start to look into the history of America, of colonialism around the world, of the actions people took, you'll figure out. Hey, the first thing is everything on its surface is opposite. Like, I swear, if they're trying to convince you of something, you have to think the exact opposite. Like, for instance, I watch I watch the news all day, and I'm not even propagandized by it. I just like to look for events and stuff like that. I like to pick out propaganda. Everyone should do this, bro. If they're harping on anything, it's because what we're doing right now. Like, when I start to go, when my search index on YouTube starts to go up for things related to America being the promised land, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna show this mathematically in my video soon. When our search starts to go up for like searches related and the traffic starts to come in, they always do this Israel bullshit, bro. And it's not just us, it's the whole world, because if my searches are going up, that's an indicator that people are searching for this content everywhere. That's when they flood the internet with like, oh, Israel-Hamas conflict, and that's all you can find after that on the search engines and search bars. And this is how, like, that's how that works. And I've literally done it so I can prove it. It was just having a YouTube channel and being able to gather data, and look how we're actively being countered by these people who literally push information, but they have all the power. So they say, like, people like me who come to my own nuanced opinion and did my own research and, you know, observed other people's research, they want you to think like them guys is crazy and don't know what they're talking about. Because look at me, I'm fucking CNBC. I got this big old thing. I'm owned by Disney. Look at this. I got a suit. I'm a white guy. I got my hair slicked back. I'm talking on MSNBC. Why won't you trust me? Like, that's really how. Oh man, I'm gonna walk to the store real quick. That's really how they want you to think. Oh yeah, I forgot. Gotta go after. Yeah, but it's just good to sit and talk, guys. Like I said, I've been making videos. I just haven't put everything out. I'm not even done editing. So, you know, because I got people that pay for my memberships and my, you know, stuff like that. And I still got lots of content for you. I got some behind the scenes stuff to show y'all. You know, just interesting things that happen. And you see, like, in the world, the reflection of what I said on my lives and videos and things like that. You know, the world has become a very interesting place. And I don't know if you ever heard of that movie Brave New World. But if you invert that concept, that's where we're living in right now. You know, you need to check out, we really need to check out our land, because there's a lot of stuff they've hidden, but a lot of stuff is still hidden in plain sight. Like, when you go, it's like national treasure, my dude. Like, you know how, that's what I'm trying to tell you, they literally put the truth in movies. Like, National Treasure basically snitched at America's Egypt years and years ago, before this whole thing was so popular. Years and years ago, National Treasure was telling the truth. And that's how you know these people been known. Like, how you making movies where you're like hunting through the Americas for freaking Egyptian treasure? And then, like, y'all forget, like, things like Norris Dam. They discovered Norris Dam and put a dam, or they discovered an Egyptian temple in the valley that Norris Dam now floods. And of course, you would think if they discovered like this great piece of archaeology, they'd like make it known to the public. No, what did they do? They built a dam over it. They put a dam over it, and that's how you know. So around those same times, they're discovering all this bullshit in Egypt, building the Aswan Dam, right? building the Aswan Dam, and I don't know if you guys know or not, but I've been looked into this. When they built the Aswan Dam, they supposedly relocated all these ancient temples and things to get it out of the way the valley was going to flood. So in America, they're doing the exact opposite, and now you understand why. So if you look at that, the building of Norris Dam compared to the construction of the Aswan Dam, the U.S. government paid for the construction of the dam, the moving of the structures to, like, they moved one temple to a Gilkey Island, they claim. I'm like, bro, you're not moving temples. They were constructing this stuff. So they also paid for that. All that stuff is paid for over there. All that stuff is paid for. I just think it's real interesting to look into this stuff, guys. And I don't know how people aren't really curious. That's because their spirit is dead, bro. Like, they poured some water on the flame and that shit just sizzled out. Even when I was a kid, I was interested in all this shit. I was super interested in this shit because what they claim for history don't make sense. They claim for history does not make sense. And it's not just that, like, man, I forget his name. There's an actor that's going crazy right now. He used to play Iron Man. They got him out of there because he thought he was worth too much. He did a couple scenes, but he's going crazy right now. You know? And Hollywood, they're dead. You know, they're over here watching our lives and our videos and our stuff and putting that in their movies. That's what they're over here doing. Hollywood is over here in our content, talk about our stuff, putting it in their movies. They've been doing that since the beginning. That's why, like, when you look at all Marvel characters and all that stuff, first of all these concepts are based off the properties of melanin. And I know it sounds stupid. I'm gonna sound like I'm crazy, but no, bro. If you look at this, it's been discovered in Chernobyl. They've been know melanin can absorb all forms of radiation, and we know that in this world everything is frequency, which is radiation, which is energy, right? So when they make characters like Static Shock and he's redistributing electricity and all these other people that are linked to like god characters and demigods and all that stuff, bro, that's you, bro. They go through your history. That's why they got the Black Panther, and that's the whole Wakanda thing is American. So when you look up the word Wakanda, there's places here called Wakanda. That's not an African word. It's a fictional place in Africa, but it's a real place in America. Okay? And when you look it up, they came to America looking for Prester John. And we know that Prester John is King David. And shout out to 343 to Drop. If you guys want to like look into that, 343 to Drop Radio on YouTube. Con Drop. Great investigation into Prester John, bro. But like, that's when you start to understand, like, that's why they claim, there's maps of Asians having this land, because this land's been known since time immemorial. Truly, all the human race came out of here. But after the flood of Noah, right, Noah's sons, and the people they allowed on the boat who were contaminated, because people say, oh, God didn't let people on the boat that were not clean, like with DNA. I'm like, actually he did. And anyone who would listen to Noah, if you read the story and understand, God is super merciful. Like, he's not even blaming those people for being born impure, but they do have free will. Everyone has free will. So he said, anyone who listened to Noah was spared with Noah when he was building a boat and helped. That could have been giants, non-giant. It could have been anyone who listened to Noah, because then he would take that loyalty to Noah and listen to Noah as righteousness, and he would let them on the boat. So that's why it says in those days there was giants on the earth in the flood and after too, because he let people with contaminated DNA onto the boat. After the flood of Noah, Noah's sons split up the land. Noah's sons split up the land. We know Noah's Ark crashed in really the Appalachians, where I think wherever they got that fake Noah's Ark replica at, they basically used a fake replica to mark the landing of the spot. But most Americans don't know what's going on. In America, we have a large fake Noah's Ark replica, and I forget exactly what state it's in. It's been a while since I looked at that information, but like in the Appalachians around there, that's where the ark would have crashed. Now we know, like, people go, well, the mountain's not high enough for the water level because blah 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 blah. Blah. I had to get into arguments with geologists about this. They're trying to tell me those mountains aren't high enough because I'm like, well, that would give it more basis, because we know, like, mountains who've been through flood events and erosions, the oldest mountains are smaller because in the past they were bigger, and everything on this earth decays and breaks down. So we know erosion, all that good stuff. We know mountains break down. We know all that good stuff. That's bedrock. It's not even scientific. It's just basic. It's common sense. You know that if a building is up standing for 3,000 years, it's probably gonna, like, 3,000 years later, it's probably gonna be gone. You know, because erosion, no matter what you do, it's gonna be gone. Mountains are the same deal as the non-mortal things. So that's how, like, I just dropped some big drop there. Like, I even know the location where they found it, because a lot of the part of the Appalachian Mountains are off limits in our government territories. And trust me, if they found something as technological, because you think Noah's Ark was just wood, but I'm trying to tell you, people were magi scientists back then. It was like crazy, like, steampunk technology type deals back then. Like, you think everything was simple and wood like it is now? No. Like, we're really on the continent of Atlantis, and they were using crystal technology and all kinds of things back then. All kinds of things. So you really don't know exactly, you know, you can only picture what your mind has made you picture based on what you've been exposed to. So when you go beyond that and you start to think, like, well, we know we got a bunch of technologies that are under wraps and there's patents for them, but no one's developed any of this technology for the public, and why not? Well, we know corporations and things like that don't want that. Especially frequency and energy vibrational technology. When it comes to any frequency, energy, vibrational technology, type technology, they don't want that anywhere near you. They'll use it against you as a weapon. Like, even your cell phone uses crystals and different things like that in its components. Like, what you're holding in your hand when I'm talking to you with is a piece of magic. And people don't understand it, but magic and technology are one and the same things. Like, they'll call something magic, and we'll just understand the scientific concept behind it. That's why these people were like, they talk about being warriors and scientists in the past and all these great minds in the past. That's what they're talking about, bro, because a lot of things have been limited from us. A lot of things have been just completely taken away from us. And because, like, we've been taught things like the theory of relativity of energy and all this stuff. They say the law of relativity of energy. They say it's a law that you cannot create or destroy energy. They say that's true too. That's a lie, because you as energy are energy, and therefore you don't need to create energy. Therefore it's always present. But all this works on consent and awareness, bro. And you be unaware of your own power. You be unaware of your own power, and that's coming to an end too. And that's coming to an end too, because once we become aware of our power and our status in this world, there's nothing that's going to make them or make us go back to how it was. And it's like this, bro. The frequency of a certain particular group of people that God's chosen, and these people, trust me, it's mainly us, but there are people from other races that can see, and God has chosen, maybe because what their ancestors did. If he punishes you for the actions of your ancestors, I'm sure he'll reward you for the actions of your ancestors if they were good. And look at Abraham. You know, he got many rewards that applied to his descendants. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's all black people, and not all black people are vibrating at this high frequency anyway. So when you start to look into this, our frequency is rising, right? And you can't have these opposing frequencies. You can't have people that can't vibrate in this high frequency and live their life and all this other stuff. So what you're seeing when you're hearing about like Leon Mangione killing that guy and that other billionaire dying in a boat off the coast, and all these people in California getting their houses destroyed, and these billionaire mansions getting destroyed, their frequency is negative, so the planet is targeting them, just like a virus, bro. And I'm not, like I said, the immune system of the planet. You can call it the angels of the Most High, the immune system of the planet. You know how it says the earth will fight for the woman, right? Well, God always referred to Israel as his fervent lover, right? Right? Like, even when we went astray, he was like my lover cheated on me and I'm still going to take you back. You know what I mean? He even said that. If you read the scriptures, people say I don't. Read your scriptures. You know what I'm saying? When you read the scriptures, you can easily understand these things. So, to someone who hasn't started initiating themselves into these mysteries, and I just sound like I'm talking crazy. And that's the best part. That is the best part, because you're the uninitiated. And that, like, it used to be us as the uninitiated, but now the shoe is flipped. Like, and if you can't understand this, maybe God don't want you to understand that shit. And that is a shot against you. That is a shot against you, man. Like I said, if you live in this world and you're just here to exist and live a life according to like peace and happiness, you are probably not going to be one of those people that are found to be at this low energy frequency. But I know many of people who talk about their pastors, priests, deacons, watch some stupid Christian things on TV and think like they're doing something, and they looked at the guy, and it's not. Bro, all that stuff was built on lies. Them people have no connection. They never had no connection to God. That's why there's no truth in them. And if there's no truth in them, why would you listen to them? Bro, if you could find out that all the churches have organizations that have done terrible things and try to defend it and cover it up, and it still to this day, you shouldn't be dealing with them. Hey, bro, if you know you are a boss or an employee of a company, and you don't even do nothing to earn no money, but you make the money, but you don't do nothing to earn the money besides go and you do tasks that you would give to a taskmaster, right? Like in a slavery day, like that's what managers are. They receive the money and they go out and they grind your face, so you work hard so they can get money, bro. And this is the world, and they're so dumb they don't see that. And I'm like, that's why everything's being destroyed, because y'all never tried to stop that shit. Y'all really didn't. That's why you can't pay for your bills, because you'll be working. That's why, like, fucking, there's all these people locked in prison in America. That's why. It's not because, like, they're fucking bad people. Motherfuckers trying to pay their bills. Like, look, if you growing up somewhere, you come in the hood, bitch, you come from the hood, bitch, the jobs around is like McDonald's and some dumb shit. Bitch, you can't pay your bills with that. Especially right now. They know you can't pay your bills with that. And they know what you're going to do. You're going to do anything to get money. Bro, and then you're going to end up in a fucked up situation. And they know that. And they're going to extract more money from you. And, when we get in charge, I'm going to throw all them people. Bro, all the managers and bosses that made salaries off other people's labor, and then I'm gonna throw y'all all in jail. Y'all all going to jail, bro. Cause what you did caused so much fucking bullshit, and the people that set you to do that and said that was okay, they going in jail too. Everybody going, y'all gonna be sick as hell. Y'all all going to jail. If you don't pay, if you don't labor, and somebody else labors for you, and you don't think their labor is worth anything, but you can't make no money without them, you gotta go to jail. What is that? So you just one step away from a slave master? Hey, if we gave you permission to hit him, then you'd be slave master. Isn't that real? How much money does one McDonald's store make a day? Exactly. Can someone look that up and put that in the comments if you can? How much money does one McDonald's store make a day? And how many employees do they employ a day? And try to look up how much money that store shares with, how much profit that store shares with its employees. It's probably going to be like 5%. Some dumb shit. And you know, collectively they probably spend billions on payroll, but they be making trillions in 2 years, 3 years. You know what I mean? That's like, 2 years, 3 years, they made trillions of dollars. If that was me and I ran the world, I'm kicking y'all the fuck out of there. McDonald's is going to be closed down. First of all, your food is trash. Your food is fucking trash and eugenics poison. That's why you're all up in the hood. Right? Second of all, you don't even pay nobody no money to work. Why would I let you come here and take advantage of me? Bitch, you don't even pay nobody no money to work. Everything's just set up for a few people to make money off you. And it's the same thing. Like they didn't get rid of slavery. They just reintroduced it. They was like, well, we can't call them plantations anymore. We're gonna call it a corporation, right? And then, just like you can work your way up as a slave, you can be the slave that was getting beat. Now you're the slave beating the other slaves, right? And that's exactly how this works. Like now you're a manager. Now you're better than them. Now you get them to get their money. And niggas go and work for you, and you don't pay them nothing. There's no difference, bro. These people are, and it's all what the white people set up. That's all what they did. That's why the whole world followed, because they were like, they're just fucking mind. And y'all know them. They mindless slaves. They come on the news. The Pope. Oh, everybody worship the Pope. Don't matter that he's a pedophile. Don't even matter that he's a pedophile. Let's overlook that. Let's overlook him doing all this stuff because we don't even care to look into it because we just want to watch the news and now we think we're informed. And these be the same people that get in my comments and say some dumbass shit too. They be saying some dumbass shit. They know they don't got no business saying. They don't even understand why. Like, this is what the world is coming to, guys. It's crazy to even think about, you know? And I'm sitting here like, yo, because I be having debates with people, bro. And I'm about to start just putting all that shit on camera. Because when people start saying, I just need like a little hidden, people start saying what they really think. And then like it just exposes their mindset. Like I told y'all, I was doing a live like this, and one guy comes up to me, and I started explaining to him, y'all might have seen that live, it's somewhere back there. I started explaining to him how like the biblical Jews are black and all this stuff. Man, he got so mad, and I was like, bro, well, let me just show y'all some Bible verses. I was showing him the verses, and I'm like, look, these are some verses they took out the Bible. Bro, he got so mad, he called me a nigga, ran off. And then I was like, the next day, I was trying to get him back on camera, but I didn't catch that part on camera. I was trying to get all this shit on camera, and I was like, bro, he was trying to tell me, like, he's sorry he didn't use that word like that. I'm like, bro, he was like, and then his girlfriend trying to convince me, like, she can use it. I was like, I was just having fun with it, guys, because these guys tried to backpedal, right? And I'm trying to get my phone out, and he didn't want to be on camera. He didn't want to be on camera, but she's trying to tell me, like, his girlfriend, which, one thing, if two men are talking, your girl should be waiting for it to jump in, not just, like, interrupting you and jumping in your conversation. Like, that shit was crazy. But, like, she's like, you guys use it. I'm like, yeah, but, like, I might say my nigga to my friend or my boy, and that means that. I'm like, you guys try to insult people with it, and that's the first thing y'all jump to, and y'all thought I was going to react, and you was going to do whatever. And I'm like, even if I did react, like, you're all fucking skinny little crackhead looking dude, I'll beat you the fuck up. And I'm like, then you would just regret that. And then if you said anything, I'd be like, he called me this and that and said he was gonna fucking kill me and push me. And I just lied because that's what the fuck y'all own anyway. That's what the fuck y'all own anyway. I'm like, he racist as hell. I'm sure you got that in his past. I'm like, he said some crazy shit to me, tried to attack me. You know? And the guy, like, he was trying to say, well, I didn't say it as an insult. I'm like, yeah, you did. I'm like, yeah, you did. That's why you was like, rah, rah, rah. And you said it with fury and anger. And I'm like, how you gonna tell me if you used it as an insult or not? Like, bitch, I think I would know. I think I would know better than you, even because I'm like, you know, you're not about truth or nothing. If you told the truth, you would just be like, yeah, this and that. And I'd be like, yeah, that's because you're a scumbag, right? And you would say, yeah. Because I do that to people. Like, you a scumbag, dude. Like, that's why you want to use the word. Like, you don't want to use the word to be like, oh, I'm with the culture. You just a scumbag. But that, you know, that's why, like, people don't even understand the whole history behind this shit. That's why there is all these racial animosities in this world, because we are the aboriginals of the American continent and everybody else are immigrants. Right? Like, where'd the Native Americans go? Every day you walk outside, you don't see no Native American. And it doesn't make sense that a group they would bring from Africa, right? One, it doesn't make sense that a group they would bring from Africa is painted on the walls in Bonaparte, Mexico, and the temple walls and things like that. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense that you find giant heads of them in the jungles and forests of North and South America. That don't make no sense. None of that stuff makes sense. But they're trying to tell you some dumb shit like, oh, these people who are like 1% of the population are the Native Americans. Does that even make sense? And they're like, this big group, this second largest group in America, we brought from Africa. And that's what you are. As 15% of the population, you are the second largest group in America. And again, if anybody, shalom, if anybody tries to tell you that Spanish people are the second largest group in Hispanics, because people say that, tell them that Hispanics is not a racial group, and Hispanic consists of black people, white people, and almost every race. Anyone can be in an ethnicity. You get what I'm saying? Anyone can be a part of an ethnicity, and that's what they try to do. They go, oh, the Spanish, and then they try to say people that look like this, and we know Spanish and Asians and the Millennium Gallon slave trade and Spain, and we know all that stuff. That's why y'all all be looking like Asian, Spanish, all share a lot of similar genetics, and we know like both of those groups started in the Caucasus Mountains, both of those groups, and it was like, you know. So when they try to tell you like, oh, you don't know nothing about that, you don't know nothing about this, or you're not, they don't even know nothing. They don't want to know nothing. They want to know whatever feels good, and because they're animalistic, like the cavemen you find in ancient times. And that's what it is. Like, they're driven only solely by their base instinct. There's no higher intellect. There's nothing like that. That's why they can understand a complex mathematical equation to make a missile, but they can't understand a complex mathematical equation to feed somebody or to feed a world or to help out. That's why, because they're driven by their base animal instincts. And it says kill, murder, rob, steal. And that's the truth. And any one of them will tell you that, because look, bro, if there wasn't no cops in society and all that, and one group to take advantage of, they would savage each other. And that's why God says he's gonna turn their like, he's gonna feed them with their own blood. That's what's really going on here. And that's what starts going. That's why there's always these shootings, and it's always white people doing some mass shooting shit. It's never black people. You don't never see us like, we might be involved in a shooting, but we're not trying to shoot up a bunch of random people. I mean, there is people in this group that will go shoot at block parties and things like that. There is that. That has happened. But when you hear about the mass shootings, look up the last 10 mass shooters. If anyone got Gemini or Google or AI, ask it, what's the 10 last mass shooters, right? Ask it that. And then ask it to pull up a picture. I guarantee they're all white. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And that's because, like, they're going crazy because the energy of the world has shifted. Like, it used to be a protected class that you were privileged to be in, and people fought to be in this group. And now all shame is coming upon that group, and people are trying to bail from each which way. You got people who are talking about redheads are black people. They're trying to bail out of that and trying to disassociate themselves from that. And I'm like, no. Remember the proud times? Yeah. Remember the proud times? That's why they don't like. That's why they don't like talk about history. Hey, bro, if you can't talk about your history, then that means you're a scumbag, and your history is just all scummy stuff. Hey, when people go to prison and get locked up for pedophilia, do they want to bring up their record? Do they want to show people their papers? Hell no. They don't want to show nobody their papers, bro, because they about to get their ass whooped. They about to get their ass whooped and probably killed. That's what you guys are. Like all the white America. That's what it is. Say I'm lying. That's what it is. That's why you go. Oh, you dwelling on the past. Oh, you're doing it. Oh, that's why. Oh yeah, because you can't talk about your past, bitch. We can talk about our past. That's glorious. Yeah, and we made mistakes, but our past is glorious. We were like our shit is shining. Our shit is a goodly heritage that was given to us. That's why you had to steal it, because you didn't have nothing in comparison. You had to destroy and steal it. So when they want to get up there and be like, and we don't even play superior game, bro. Let the truth speak for itself. If we are on a level playing field, we outshine any group, at anything. Y'all know that all music came from black people. All of it. Even that screaming shit. That came from Hamites in Africa. But that is a group that is black. That's it. That's the end of that. All right, guys. I guess I should let y'all get out of here. I'm still releasing content, guys. So it's just taking me a while with the editing process. Like I said before, I had a setback. Now I'm like triple backing my stuff up, stuff like that. When you have longer videos, bro, just getting them exported on the free software I use is a bitch. I'm about to switch to a software that's better. All right, guys.